by the name of Joffey Joe, and this is the show, Call It How I See It. And on today's episode, I got a couple of things I want to talk to you all about. First and foremost, it's draft day, people. Yes, the NFL draft is here. What a time to be alive, and I'm really excited to talk about it, as I have Glenn Pratt, Kenny Blake, and Jan Carlo Esco here in the house to break it down with me. Yes, we're going to talk about some things that we expect to see, and some things that people may not even know might happen. Yes, don't want to miss out on what we have to say about that. And second, I got Keith Falco. He's back in the house, and he's here to rub it in my face about how the Mets are a better team than the Phillies. They are. They swept them, and it is what it is. I have to take it on the chin. Still very early in the season, but you don't want to miss out on what we got to say about that. You don't want to miss out. So, you don't want to miss out on this action-packed episode. And we're back. And we have a special edition, as it is draft day, people. Yes, the NFL draft is finally here. It is looming closer to the regular season and launching of a kickoff, but we have the draft, and this is a very exciting part of the NFL's offseason, as we get to see the freshest talent out of college get picked, and a lot of people sound like a bunch of gas bags and know what they're talking about when they really don't. But this is why we're here, and we're here to drop our takes and opinions. But first, I want to introduce who we have on the show. How you doing, Glenn?
Heard from Joffey. He said it's time to call it how I see it. Let's get it.
Let's do it. How you doing, Kenny Blake? Glad to have you back on, too.
I'm glad to be here with amazing Joe and amazing Glenn. I'm excited to be on the show. Call it like you see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to have you both on. Both Steelers fans, and we'll get into that a little bit, too. So, as fans of football, we're here, and we've watched the draft for years and years and years, and we've seen some great players and a lot of busts. But, as Steelers fans here, I want to ask you first, G. What would you be happy to see the Steelers do in the draft?
Steelers are a team now that have seemed like they talk this winning record thing and this, they made the playoffs a few times. They haven't won a playoff game since 2016.
Yikes.
So in my opinion, we need help everywhere. Granted, the quarterback position needs to be addressed. Can it be addressed in the draft? Should be interesting to see.
Right.
A lot of talk about people slipping down to us, things happening, but the quarterback position has got to be addressed. To me, foremost, I don't know whether it's a trade. I've heard Kirk Cousins talk. I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. You're hearing Shedeur Sanders could slip to the Steelers or drop to 21. I watched him play. I think he's okay.
Yes.
The quarterback position has got to be addressed. So,
Yes.
Bottom line,
Right.
We can use some pieces everywhere, but without the QB, man, come on.
No, for sure helps. Without a QB, what is a team really? I mean, like we've talked on the previous episodes right now in the offseason, you guys got Mason Rudolph, and I think we were talking about that a little bit. Maybe Mike Tomlin going out and saying the right things, saying that he's comfortable with it. But I mean, honestly, we know you're lying through your teeth, Mike. We know.
In the company line.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, very, very, very true. Big company line. I mean, no one's going to ever say that they're really going to be okay with Mason Rudolph being their quarterback. So, I mean, we're looking at this draft pool here, and then, there's some quarterbacks in question, like you said, Shedeur, Jackson Dart possibly being there. I mean, there's a lot of different grades that are coming in with this draft class, and there's some people, slating these guys to be first-round picks, second-round picks. It's going to be interesting to see how pieces fall. But in the NFL, we know that even that some of these guys might not be that great. The need of having the quarterback there is very important, and the Steelers need a quarterback. I mean, they've had their flirtations with Aaron Rodgers, but there's still no deal done, and who knows how long that may take. So, I think the quarterback issue for the Steelers is definitely a big thing, and I definitely think that's definitely what they're looking at right now. I want to swing this over to you, Kenny. What do you think about the Steelers and this upcoming draft? What do you think? What would you be happy with seeing them do in the draft?
Sorry, I'm like with Glenn. I'm with Glenn with the with the draft pick. It all started with the quarterback. We need a quarterback that can lead the team to the playoff to get over the limb. But I think the Steelers need to prove of depth on both sides of the football. Like we know last year we dealt with some injuries on both sides of the football.
Right.
In order to make the push up the season and late season, we need to get depth of both sides and also more weapons for the quarterback.
For sure.
If Mason Rudolph is our quarterback, we need to surround him with more talent on offense.
Right.
And also offensive line, and also we still have more some good free agent people out there that can support on defense, like Von Miller, and also we have Tyler Lockett out there that can play the slot. So I'm really looking to see what they can do more on the offseason.
Right. No, definitely. I mean, there's definitely some pieces that could be added. You guys lost Najee Harris. I mean, that's another part. I know you guys restructured a deal for Jalen Warren. You got, Kenny Gainwell, my boy. he's there. So, it might be interesting to see. Maybe they get some fresh young legs to help a quarterback, whoever's going to be under the signal calling. But like the Steelers definitely have to get some more pieces involved here. And like you said, G, I mean, like talking winning culture here, but like you kind of almost have to you're almost literally at a point right now where you kind of just have to evaluate what you have available and then what you can do to make what you have available better. And that's going to be a big question mark with you guys, I think. And we're going to be, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, everybody wants to get better on both sides of the ball. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but that's when it comes to the coaching too. I mean, you have players that are putting them. Can they be coached up? That's my whole thing. I mean, when they brought in Trubisky at one point, I thought to myself, he's 27. Can he be coached up still? Because he wasn't terrible in Chicago. Was he what they thought he was for where he was drafted? Probably not, but he was okay. So I thought, a year under Josh Allen working up there in Buffalo, I thought him coming to Steelers. Okay, let me see what you got. Can they coach him up? No. So, I mean, another whiff. Right. So I'm just, the quarterback position again, Joffey, that's the difference, man. It's going to be the difference here.
No, for
Steelers have to do something.
I know, for sure. And then, like you're even saying, too, G, like you made a good point there. Like with Trubisky, even last year with Justin Fields, these guys were high draft picks. You know what I mean? Also from Chicago, but you might want to stay away from Chicago. Right. But, I mean, the talent and the evaluation of these guys when they were first coming into the league, it's just like these guys had, a rating and a grade. And, it may not worked out there, but if you try to put them in another system, maybe they flourish. But, sometimes these guys just can't handle doing that. And they need the right system or just like the right coaching. And it doesn't. Sometimes that doesn't even correlate to them because they just don't have it.
It's not good enough.
They just don't have it. And exactly. And, you guys can go down the list. I don't want to see you guys turn into the Cleveland Browns here. You know what I mean?
Well, no, we're not that far from it, man. I'm serious, man. Seriously. Wow. I mean, it's something to be said.
No, for sure. It's definitely going to be something everyone's going to be watching, and definitely in that part of the draft. But I mean, like, for the most part, we know historically, like, the Steelers aren't one team to really, like, move up or move down in the draft. They kind of, like, stay in their spot and pick what's best available to help their team. So it's going to be interesting to see if Shador slides or if, maybe Jackson Dart. It's going to be interesting. They definitely have an evaluation of quarterbacks, and it's going to come to light, even whether or not Milroe comes in there, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So it's going to be very interesting to see. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with you guys. I keep an eye on the Steelers for you guys and stuff.
Yes.
So on another note, G, I did want to ask, out of this draft, there's some interesting prospects. Out of all these prospects, who do you think catches your eye the most, and who do you think can actually probably play? Who could play right now and make an impact?
Well, we got to assume Ward all the talk with Ward being number one, you got to figure he's coming right in and playing. Will Levis, no. So, it looks like that's where we're going to stand. Abdul Carter. I'm really interested in Hunter.
Yes.
For the simple fact that I'm interested to see if a team brings him in and lets him play both sides of the ball. A lot of people are saying the logistics of it because of whether meetings and the behind-the-scenes stuff, whether he would be able to keep up with what it takes to play both sides of the ball. I say, dude, run a 9 route. You know what I mean? Cover so-and-so. Is it that hard? That's what I would think. But, there's probably a little bit more intricate stuff involved there, but the athlete he is, it seems like he's a supreme athlete. I'm interested to see how he impacts football, the football team, wherever he's on. He's the player I'm looking at most. It's Hunter, probably.
No, for sure. He's a unicorn. Honestly, if you want to make a comparison, he's kind of like a Shohei Ohtani here, man. Like he's a rare entity, and in today's game, especially like you said, like the snap counts, even just the behind the scenes stuff going to practices and stuff. Like how do you correlate all this stuff? Maybe over in Colorado you were able to do it because you and Shador and Dion, you guys are all family. But this is a different type of league now, and no one's going to treat you like the way you've been getting treated. So we're going to see
big
how
boy
things.
Sports.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're about to really play in the big boy leagues, but if you really hit the nail on the head on this, it could be a total home run, honestly. But the thing is, like, we're going to see how things break down. God forbid, I almost hate to see a situation where he's on offense and then he's on defense and he gets hurt, and then they're going to almost like pin that to be like, oh, like I almost feel like there's in a situation where it's a lose for either position. Like whatever I feel like he may get hurt first. I don't want to say he's going to get hurt. I hope he's healthy and everything. But if there's like a small little injury or a slip up in one side of the ball, I think they're going to start keeping him away from that side of the ball. I think
that's usually what happens.
Right, exactly. So like in this situation, with a unique situation like that, we love his competitive spirit and we know what he can do. He won the Heisman and stuff. You know what I mean? Like given everything around that and everything. But he's a baller and he's been a baller. We've known about him and. He's a prospect, and it's really going to be interesting to see. If in most drafts, he could be a number one pick, but given like the Titans in their situation, they like Cam Ward, and Cam Ward's has done a lot of great stuff in his career, and whether from Washington State even to what he did last year in Miami, he's proven that he can be a number one pick, make the throws and stuff. He understands things, so it's going to be really interesting to see how things break down. But I definitely agree with you on that, G. I think we got to definitely keep an eye on Travis Hunter.
Absolutely.
So Kenny. I want to ask about Travis Hunter's buddy, since, I know you have a big liking for Shador, and I do too. I really want to see Shador do good. I think Shador gets a bad rep and stuff, and I've seen him play at Colorado. Given, he could have done a little bit better to help their program, but given everything too, some of the pieces around him, they weren't on par to where him and, Hunter were to help elevate that program. But, so the question though, Kenny, what do you feel about Shador coming into this draft?
So my biggest question for him is, he just had to get his decision of throwing the ball quick releases. That's his biggest question. When he was in college, just holding on to the ball so much and not allowing to have so many sacks that he had the last 2 years.
Yes.
But if he can just go into the draft, whatever team that he picks, just make good reads and learn the first year, and then I think the sky is the limit on whatever team that picks him. I think the team that might pick him is probably be the Raiders or the Saints.
Yes.
But I think this year's draft might be the full of surprises of the draft. I'm not sure who can pick him in the top 3. I know some people pick him at number 2, number 3. So I think this year, the Raiders is a good fit for him in that draft.
No, I even seen some breakdowns of possibly. We all saw the Raiders go after Geno Smith and reconnect Pete Carroll with Geno Smith, but also they restructured. They gave him his money, but they also restructured it. If you're not performing, then they can cut him loose after the first year. So maybe there was a possibility they take a shot at Shador and maybe groom him a little bit. They got Chip Kelly being the offensive coordinator there. I don't know who knows what that can be like, but there could be a fit. Tom Brady, has done work with Shador, and him being, part owner, that definitely there's influence in there. So that could be a mix. There's also talks about him going to the Saints. I think personally, that would be the most ideal fit. You have Derek Carr there, who's only played 2 good years of football and still gets paid top dollar for some reason. But I think that's going to come to an end. And if, I think Derek Carr will show himself, and then, maybe Shador can come in and, help start bridging that franchise where it could go, especially with a young coach with Kellen Moore there and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how things break down. And it's going to be very interesting to see how things break down. But I'm really excited to see. I like Shador. I don't know about the whole jersey retirement thing. I think Cordell's a little much. Maybe not the best timing for it. But, overall, though, he's definitely, from what he started off at Jackson State, helping bring that program up, and stuff. They've done a lot, and it's really cool to see where their journey's going to go. I'm really interested to see. I don't think that this whole narrative of Dion controlling things behind the scenes right there, I don't think they really had that type of leverage right now. I think they just kind of have to take the pick and go from there and see what they do. So, but I'm definitely.
I think being having that name across his back almost seems to be at his detriment. It seems like people are saying that's one of the concerns about bringing him in on the team. So
the nepotism, yes, that's definitely always a question. We see Bronny going through that type of scrutiny, given they're on 2 different levels of things here. But we see the effect that outsiders or people that examine the sports scouts and everything, they take notice of nepotism, and they're trying to see what correlates, even though they play 2 different positions and stuff, him and his father. But it's gonna be very interesting to see how things break down. So
Joffey, can he play?
That's what matters.
I don't care about any of this other crap, meetings and all that. Listen, can he play?
Yes.
That's all I'm interested in, Joffey. That's all I want to see, man.
No, for sure, and that's what we're going to see with all these prospects. Who can really play? Who can make the roster? Who's going to make a difference? Who's really hungry out here? And
that's my whole thing too. Your first round pick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't care what position it is. Your first round pick plays. I don't care what position.
Yeah, no,
every
for
team.
Sure.
Your first round pick's on the field. I don't care about the position.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
Your first round pick, he's coming in and making an impact. He doesn't make an impact, you whiff. That's come on now.
You gotta take that for what it is, honestly, and move on after that. So I hear you on that, G. I do. But guys, it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited for the draft. Draft time is definitely a cool time, even though they stretched out to 3 days and make it a phenomenon now. But it's good for the kids. They deserve it. They worked hard to get to this point, and this is why we as fans enjoy it. And it's gonna be in Wisconsin. It's gonna be a Green Bay Stadium. A lot of history around it. So it's gonna be a good time. So I definitely like to check out a draft sometime in my lifetime.
No doubt. No. It travels now, so you never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had it the 1 year in Philly, I believe, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you never know. Maybe a couple years down the line, it comes back, and
I'll be back for sure, no doubt.
They can bring the circus back in town without a doubt. But guys, I appreciate you guys coming on, talking some draft. It's a good time to be alive, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Joffey, man, I appreciate you having me, man. I'm always down to call it how I see it. Anytime, Joffey, anytime.
I appreciate you, Glenn, and you too, Kenny. I appreciate you coming on.
For sure. Until next time.
Until next time, and And we're back. And look who we have in the house. The one, the only, Jan Carlo Esco. How you doing, my guy?
Very good. Very good. I can't wait for Christmas tomorrow. I'm very excited.
Seems like Christmas may have came early for most of us, at least football fans out there. But yes, the NFL draft is here, and we are here to talk about it, as we are both Eagles fans, and we need to add some Eagles twist to the show. So, JC, as we just won the Super Bowl, still running off that victory lap and that beautiful high of winning a championship.
Let them know.
Yes, I definitely have to let them know. But because of that, the stipulations that we are facing now with the NFL draft means we pick last, which is cool. We've done this before, and things have turned out all right. And giving it that we have Howie Roseman as our GM, and giving it that we have 10 picks this year in our draft, it's going to be very interesting to see what Howie does. We had some departures, and not too many additions, but, we're always looking to improve and get better as a team, especially with the salary cap and everything. You want to get young, hungry players to fill in these voids and roles and see how they fit in the system. So, what do you expect the Eagles to do with that 32nd pick in the draft?
To be honest, I don't expect them to stay in it. Okay. That's first and foremost.
Yes.
But if we are to stay put, which knowing Howie Roseman the way that we do is very unlikely, there's players that have left that holes need to be filled. I believe we need a D-tackle.
Yes.
Edge rusher is an issue.
Yes.
And back end, maybe another corner or a safety.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, Malachi Starks lands there, I'm taking him. The Georgia defense has to continue to thrive in Philadelphia. It needs to happen.
Yes.
I've been hearing rumors about Jordan Davis possibly being on the block.
Really? I didn't hear that one. That might be no.
It was just one of those it was a hot take, but I was like, he's due to get paid soon. They have to exercise the option soon, so we have to think about it.
Right.
But at 32, I'll be honest, I don't think we stay there.
No, I mean, if you really look at it, but what's the difference between a 32nd pick and a 33rd or 34th or 35th pick? Most of these guys are, on that borderline anyway. And, if we look at last year's draft where we got Cooper DeJean early in the second round. He was a player that was projected to be in the first round, and he slid to the second round, and Howie Roseman dove right in and snatched him, and everyone looks at us now, we're like, damn, good pick. So, basically, you're getting, a glorified, really good second-round pick, but no doubt about it, though. You're still looking at a player that's, ready to jump in the fold right now and possibly even cause an impact. Given everything with the system and everything, some of the names they've been throwing out there. They got the kid, Grant from, I know it's Mason Grant, and then there's Nolan. I'm sorry, is it Smith or Grant? I'm sorry, I'm really bad right now.
I think you're right.
Yeah, the defensive tackle from Ole Miss, who's also played in the 3-4 system, to my understanding, so he's already would be familiar. Watching Milton Williams catch a humongous bag from the New England Patriots and possibly even changing that position's market moving forward, it's going to be interesting to see. But that's a position that needs to be filled. To have Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, who's going to get another payday. Who's going to get his first payday coming up. It's going to be interesting to see. So this is where you need to plug in somebody. Don't get me wrong, too. Moro Ojomo, I think he could fill in right now. And I think he is ready. He had a good Super Bowl, had a good playoff run, got some experience. But it's going to be different from, being in the rotation of things and then getting thrown right in the fire to be in there all the time. So we're going to have to see how things break down in that aspect. Like you said before, we lost, some help in the defensive back area. I'm still missing C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Still a big shock. But, if there's a possibility to get Malachi Starks, that's not a bad possibility. There's also the safety from South Carolina who runs a 4.3 speed. Hard hitter.
Mr. Watt.
Yes, Mr. Watts is a good player. I wouldn't mind him either. Actually has some ball hawk capability from what I've seen on film. He wouldn't be a bad option either. But, too, a couple years ago, they took the chance on Sidney Brown. So, there's these pieces that they feel that, they planted the seed with some of these guys for the system, and maybe having them understand the system gets them a jump start compared to a rookie just jumping in off of raw talent. It's going to be interesting to see. We do know about Sidney Brown, tearing his ACL and, coming back into things. So, that was last year. He played on special teams and contributed in little roles that helped out. But we're going to have to see what they do with the safety position. It's going to be very important. Reed Blankenship's definitely, solidified the strong safety role of that defense. So we're going to have to see what breaks down there. And, at cornerback, there's still some options. I know the kid Harrison from Kentucky's very possibly could be on the board at that time. Most people rate him as a top 20 corner. Long. Has ball hawk ability too, good coverage skills. So it's going to be interesting to see what they might do in that situation. But, like we said with Howie, you never know. Might parlay, might even move up in the draft, use some of this other draft capital, target somebody else, like an edge rusher. I mean, most of these people, at least these quack bags over in New England, trying to like formulate an idea where we get rid of AJ Brown and we give him to the Patriots. Good thing that all went to to die. I don't want to hear that noise anymore because I want to see AJ Brown on our team. Right? I rip my guy pretty loud. But it's gonna be interesting to see. So I mean, we all love the draft. I remember when I was a little young kid. Used to write all these guys' names down in notebooks, and then I was that kid before they could even import them from NCAA. I used to try to create the player and put them in Madden, just to try to not buy the new Madden. That's what I used to do. But yeah, so like the draft is fun. It's cool to see these kids get their shine, get put on a pedestal, and go out there and get their shine and get drafted, and it's like have their dreams come true. It's really a cool thing to watch and see, and that's why we're very enamored by the draft, and that's why it's become like a 3-day spectacle overall. But it's gonna in the back end of things, like the Chiefs won last year and they ended up with Xavier Worthy. That was a good pick at 32. I mean, Lamar Jackson was the 32nd pick in a draft. So there's some good track record or picks being the 32nd pick and, becoming players and stars. So it's going to be interesting to see. But if I had a bet, like you were saying, most likely there's a possibility that Howie moves the pick. So
we can't be picking midnight. I don't have time for that.
No, at that hour, it's, and plus, I mean, there's all this rumblings and, Schefter reporting stuff that, there's going to be a trade going down or something's going to go down with the Eagles. I don't know. But it's all speculation.
I think Godwin's going tomorrow, possibly.
I hate to see it. I really do. But either whether tomorrow or later on in the offseason, it seems like it's going to be something that happens. Or maybe no one really bites on it. I don't know. Like, I don't see much people really going out of their way to go get him. So it's going to be interesting to see. If they were to go steer away from him, I know in the second round I wouldn't mind getting a player like Mason Taylor. I see some like Jimmy Graham type of capabilities with him. Good red zone option.
Natural athletic ability.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", man, and being playing at LSU, he set a lot of records and stuff, and he really showed who he was, and he really showed a lot of good stuff while he was down there. I believe he has their touchdown record, and I would love to have a player like that contribute to our offense. I think he could just step in right away and really take command of the tight end position. I know he's a little bit of a lack of a blocker and stuff, but that changes over time too, especially if you can run some drills with the Stoutland offense and the Stoutland line and stuff. I think you can definitely fine tune yourself as a good blocker.
Zach Ertz wasn't a blocker either.
No, and look at him now, still balling, still helping the damn Commanders out and everything. So still being a thorn in our side, even though we love the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be interesting to see how things break down in the draft. Overall, like, is there any prospect out there that you are really enamored by?
Yeah, James Pierce, but that's kind of a pipe dream because he's not going to be there.
Right.
There is a safety. Forgot we did pick up that guy Cine or something from Minnesota.
Yes, he is a corner. He's had injury history, but he was a first-round pick.
He's going to be in the mix.
Yeah, no, for sure. He should be too.
Keely Ringo does not have that 2 spot locked up.
No, and I mean, dude, don't forget about Eli Ricks either. Still very young. He's only 20. He's going to be 23 years old this year. Still very raw talent. I mean, maybe what was that?
That guy Harrison is an animal.
Yes, he absolutely has great cover skills. I see a lot of his skill sets match up to what Quinyon Mitchell does on the outside of things. And I mean, if we have Cooper DeJean in the middle, being like the white Charles Woodson out there, I really like our secondary. I really do.
I don't think Fangio wants to take DeJean out of the slot anyway.
No, there's too much success, and plus, with the inside of the field, you definitely need a corner that can tackle. And we saw him light up Derrick Henry. We've seen him make tackles. We've seen him light up Jamar Chase. Like, this kid, like, he's there. He knows his awareness. He's got a good first step, and he's really a good player, man. I'm really excited to see what transitions with him next year too. So we'll see how things break down overall, but it's an exciting time, and we're gonna see how he handles everything.
Tomorrow's the exciting day, but you win on days 2 and 3.
No, for sure. And then too, like, you see some of these other guys drop, and you're just you're wondering why did they drop to this point in the draft, or why are they not being taken at this point, and then you take a flyer on them. Yeah, exactly. Like Cooper DeJean was a beautiful pick, but we especially in the last 5 years, we've built a whole starting roster that was able to go to the Super Bowl, and now it's that second wave that we need to do. We keep the guys that matter, keep the core, and then we pluck out, pluck in, and that's just what the NFL has become. And I think the Seahawks kind of started doing this 10 years ago with their defense and bolstering it, and even putting out pieces and new pieces in their Legion of Boom and stuff. But it worked for a while, and it's going to be interesting to see because the Eagles want to be legitimate for a while, and this type of stuff needs to happen, especially with the salary cap and everything, because you're not going to be able to keep everybody. So it's just things that that come into consideration. But the draft is going to be a really a fun time. I'm excited for it. What are you most excited for the draft?
Well, draft parties. I mean, duh.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what our rivals do to try to keep up.
Yes, that's true.
The Giants having such a high pick. What are you going to do? Dallas, how are you going to screw it up? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
the Commanders pick is always going to intrigue me because they are going to be the thorn in the side.
Right.
Whether Daniels takes a step up or has the C.J. Stroud sophomore slump, who knows? They retooled their offense too. But I like to see what the league is trying to do because we kind of set up a new blueprint. It might be the return of the running back.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No, for sure.
With that being said, like I'd like to see what the rest of the league is going to do. I want to see how we're going to retool Vic Fangio's defense because we lost some pieces and we still are not sure what Nakobe Dean is doing from that torn patella.
Yeah.
But I just like to see. We're still the champions.
Yes. We
We're
are
not
the
the champions no more.
Exactly.
The rest of the league has to catch us.
Right, exactly. We got the target on our back, and now it is our time to, defend ourselves, defend the shield, defend the house, do everything. And
We're the hunters. Now we're the hunted.
yeah,
Let's go.
that's what ends up happening. But I think we're ready and embrace this type of role and fashion. So we're gonna see how things break down. But man, I'm really excited for the draft. I really am.
Very excited.
But on that note,
Probably not gonna stop.
I don't know, man. I'm just really excited. I really am. So we're gonna
I
see how
can't
things break down.
talk recap. This is going to be good.
No, for sure. This could be the draft that changes things for our franchise moving forward, especially after winning this title. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But Jay, I appreciate you coming on and talking some draft.
Can't wait.
Me too, man.
All right.
All right, man. Until next time.
See ya.
And we're back, and we have my good friend Keith Falco in the house. And as you see by the headline here, we have to talk some Phillies and Mets, because the Phillies looking like the damn sillies right now. But how you doing, Keith? What's going on, my guy?
Good. Doing good, Joe. Thanks for having me on. It's an honor, and I can't wait to jump into it.
Yeah, I mean, we got to jump through the fire because there's a lot of stuff going on both sides. I mean, before this matchup started, there was a lot of thoughts about like what could happen in this matchup, and now we see what really happened. It kind of looks like everything from last year just picked up for where it left off. So here we are, and now we're here to talk about it. So since you guys swept the Phillies, Keith, I must know, do you think that the Mets have the Phillies number now moving forward?
Yeah, I have to say I do. Yes,
Yeah.
they got their number. I honestly thought that you guys actually play us better when you come to Citi Field.
Okay.
I mean, I thought like when we come to Citizens Bank, that's where we own you guys.
Right.
And you guys always play us better in Citi Field. But I mean, this past week, I was like, I was shocked. I was shocked we swept you guys. I really thought you guys would at least get one.
Yeah, I thought so too, man.
And plus with Zach Wheeler, it was Zach Wheeler going today, the ace.
Yeah.
I was like, today's the day they have to get this one.
Right.
But the bats, I mean, it's just the Phillies bats, and it's shocking to me because, man, you look at 1 through 7 in the lineup. I know it's like, dude, they're like all stars.
It looks legitimate. I know.
They're legit. I just don't know what the issue is. Is it Thompson?
I mean, there's like so many issues. Like I guess the way Dombrowski, designed this team and this lineup, he's just thinking maybe extra base hits and home runs. That's really what it is. But like when you can't get these guys to get on base, and like you're looking, so like yesterday too, Real Muto, he hits a double. He gets out a little bit of like a slump in a jam because he's going a little slow. But like after that, nothing surfaces. You know what I mean? Like you guys get the extra base hit, but you're not able to like get the ball moving and other stuff. Like I see like at the bottom of the lineup. Of late, it's been smacking the ball a little bit more and getting guys to push around. But I just don't see any small ball with this team, and it's never going to be that way. It's just not.
I don't feel like you guys have a true leadoff hitter too.
No, they shuffle.
Stott's playing better than last year.
Yes, he is. His
swing's starting to come around.
Right.
So I noticed you guys been using him in the leadoff spot.
Yes.
Then, it's like I don't know. I mean, is he a true leadoff guy? We don't know where he really stands right now.
No, I know. It's a big question mark. They're still trying to plug in and trying to move people up and down the lineup and stuff, but it's just like so many guys just get cold, man. And then when one guy gets cold, it's kind of like a trickle down effect. And we've seen this not even with just the Mets. They've been doing this with other teams down the line, and it's just like
is it the cold weather. Are you guys not good with the cold? It's like
I don't know. It makes me scratch my head.
I do gotta say, and I don't want to sound cocky,
right?
But I do gotta say the Mets just have the Phillies number right now.
No, they totally do.
Things could change, it's a long season,
right.
And but right now I just feel like we do have your number,
right?
Division rivals, but for sure I thought with Wheeler on the mound today, I thought you guys were at least gonna
No.
At least get one.
No, for sure. And like, you guys like in the offseason, you guys got better. You got Soto, you added more people, you had Holmes, other arms and stuff. I know you guys aren't even still at 100% yet too. And like this is us at 100%, and this is what we are. We're falling flat on our face right now. We're 13-12. We lost 4 games in a row, and now we got to play the Cubs this Friday.
We've been hot. We've been swinging the ball hot.
They're winning the National League Central right now. It's just like this is like the teams that you have to like at least show up against, and like they're not showing up, and then you're gonna play them in their stadium. I just don't. When the Phillies go over to Citi Field, man, I don't know if the field just like gets too big for them. They just don't know what to do. There's just so much stuff there, and then the bullpen, man. As soon as I saw Jordan Romano go in there today, I just knew the game was over, man. I was actually surprised that
the same thing.
I was surprised that Alvarado didn't even give up the game. He pitched great, and then but there's only so much time you can put him in there.
I gotta ask you, why wouldn't you go with Alvarado? For 2-3 innings. I mean, is he just don't have the stamina? Like,
I don't think he has the stamina. I think he starts to wear down. But like, even if you look at this game in general, like the first inning he pitched 8 pitches, and after that he was ready to go for the next inning. And he got a little jammed up, but he got out of the jam, and it worked.
And he gets out of it.
He does. But the thing is,
for me, Alvarado's your best bullpen guy right now.
He has the best stuff.
Best stuff.
Right. In terms of his sinker and his cutter and where the direction it goes, it hits 100 sometimes. It's really crazy.
Yes.
But
crazy.
It's just like sometimes he loses control, and it kind of seems like the moment gets to him sometimes, and that's his confidence issue. That's what I've noticed from him for the 3 years that he's been there. Yeah. But like us losing Hoffman's been so big this year because he was such a solid reliever for us. Strom's kind of like suffering from that too. Like we need another guy. They were trying to plug in Romano to be there, and he's just not that guy. He's got good stuff, but it just seems like his control issues and his mental state. It's the moment's getting to him too much. And it looked like it happened last year in Toronto, and that's where like get out.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right.
That's just where
I was looking at his ERA. I think his ERA is like 14 in 8 appearances. I'm like, this is not going to get it done.
When I see this guy, when I see this guy hit the mound, I'm like, oh man, it's like a curlier version of Aaron Nola out there. It's just like a freaking punching bag out there. I'm just like, here we go, just throw the game away now. So
right.
It is what it is. But so given that you guys are on a high note right now, where do you think that you guys rank with the rest of the National League? I mean, we know the West is really good. I mean, you guys, still got to conquer the boogeyman that is the Dodgers. But go ahead.
Yeah. I still think that the Dodgers are the best team in the NL.
Yes.
Yeah, from top to bottom, they're just stacked, man.
Yeah.
It's wild, and they just got better. They just added. They got the Japanese pitcher Kasaki, I think is Kasaki. Yamamoto's pitching better.
Yes.
They got Glass now. Like their pitching got better.
Yes.
I know they're a little better. Freddie and Mookie are a little banged up right now, but I do gotta say, Joe, that's the team I want to play in the NLCS. I want that rematch.
Yes.
Like it's kind of like with the Eagles, right? You guys lost versus Mahomes.
Right.
Who did you want? Who did you want to come back with? Right.
Yes.
Who did you want to beat?
Right.
So that's where I'm at with the Mets. I still think the Dodgers are the top team in the NL.
Right.
I got the Mets at 2nd. I got the Padres at 3 right now.
Okay.
But it's still early.
It's still very early. But that division, man, I like the way that division's shaping up. I think there might be 3 teams that go out there. I might be hard for the Phillies to even squeak in the wild card. I mean, like I said, it's a long season.
I still think Phillies are a wild card team.
We'll be fighting. We'll be a team that's above 500 fighting just because of the way the team's set up. But
that's okay sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes at that point, when you're at that point too. I mean, like when we went to the World Series that year, you're still trying to find yourself and you scrap, and then that's how you really find yourself, like you guys did last year too.
Exactly.
It's going to be interesting, but I definitely think with this series, you guys definitely pulled ahead. You guys definitely showed you're the better team. I will concede that. I have to call it how I see it. I really do. It's just like it's just tough to watch, but it's just seeing like the same problems from last year trickling into this year, and it never got solved. Our bullpen issue's been like an issue for 5 years, honestly. Like last year we were okay, but at the end of the year, what happened? Our bullpen faltered. So it's just like this has always been like the boogeyman with the Phillies. Like starting pitching's great, it leads us to this point, and then it just falls flat on our face. And we trust these guys to finish the game and do their job, and they're just not doing it. And there has to be some type of drastic change made, maybe even a new left fielder or something. Like they need something done here.
I like that kid Kepler too. I think Kepler, was a good pickup, right? He's from your farm system, I think. You guys brought him up.
We got him from. He might have originally started out there, and then he ended up in Minnesota. But
that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's good. He's a good 7th hitter. He's not a really. They were expecting him to be more power, like being able to like fill in with that spot, but I don't see that happening yet. He only has 1 homer, so I mean, it's going to take some time to glue in there. But
I like his swing. His swing's pure.
Yes. He's definitely a major league player. I mean, he's a good left fielder and stuff. He knows how to field and stuff. So like, I don't know. And our center field's been a big issue. I mean, Brandon Marsh is definitely not where they thought he's going to be. I'm actually happy with Rojas. A lot of Philly fans, they're not really, they're big. They're so quick to throw him under the bus because of his hitting, but he's been a very good contact hitter. Yeah, he's been a very good hitter. He's been smacking the ball. He's not a power hitter, but I mean, he's been getting the ball. He's fast, and we all know what he can do in the outfield. outfield. Other than that one play in Atlanta where him and Sosa just let the ball drop in front of him. But other than that, I mean, I just don't know. And then just everybody else is just streaky, man. It's just what it's going to be. And because of contracts and everything, this is what they have to put out there every day. And this is just what it's going to be continuous. And then it's probably going to fall on Thompson if this doesn't work. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like I almost see the train crash ready to happen, man. I really am.
Yeah. But like you said, it's early. So
it's early, I know. And
the Mets were the Mets were horrible in April last year. They were absolutely horrible.
Yes.
And, it's just one little thing can click.
Just click, yeah.
And bang, you guys taking off, so long season. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how things break down. Real quick before you go, so if you guys stay healthy or you guys get back to 100%, and you think this team can really represent the pennant?
I really believe so, Joe. I'm not being biased here. I'm not being biased.
Tell it how it is. Call it how you see it.
Listen, I think we have unfinished business from last year. I really do. I felt like we could compete with the Dodgers. It's going to be tough, Dodgers. But I honestly feel with adding Soto, and I believe when Manaea coming back.
Yeah, Manaea's huge.
We're starting to get healthy with Alvarez coming back as well. McNeil's coming back.
Yep.
I really believe that the Mets can contend for a pennant.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we have the hitting, and I think Mendoza is pushing all the right buttons.
Yes, he is. He's a very good manager.
Absolutely amazing. Look at our pitching rotation right now. Griffin, Canning.
Yeah.
Like
he pitched a gem yesterday.
He's the gem.
Yeah.
And I think he's 3-1 with a 3.5 ERA.
Yes.
You would never see those numbers in Los Angeles. I think he was in the Angels last year.
Yes, he was.
And you would never see those numbers. And Tyler Miguel, 1.9 ERA.
I know.
3-1. It's like
these guys are taking advantage of their opportunity.
Mendoza was kind of I believe he was a pitching coach for the Yankees.
Yeah.
And I think he's just pushing the right buttons. And I believe the Mets, I think we could contend. I really do.
I really like your guys' chances. I mean, I do. I see you guys did the right things to get better. And honestly, good for you guys, because honestly, from the Scherzer, the Verlander contracts, like that, like it looked like you guys were gonna be in abyss for like 3-4 years, and then you guys literally climbed out that hole, and you guys are here now. You ended up with Soto. Lindor's freaking amazing. You know what I mean? Like you guys.
Lindor's captain. He's our cap.
He's your captain, and then even Pete Alonso. Like, yo, you're 1, 2, 3. I mean, like as a starting pitcher, I had to see that in the first inning. I'm like, damn, bro. And then that has to come back up. Like you guys are good, and then like you said, like when these other guys come back, like McNeil and other stuff, like
Alvarez, McNeil.
Yes, man. Like you guys have a good thing going, and
I appreciate it.
I definitely recognize it.
And there's one thing I do want to touch base with Pete Alonso. You don't see a lot of these ball players, free agent, and Toronto. I think Toronto offered him a multi-year deal and a big contract, but he chose to come back to New York, for a 2-year, and he wanted to gamble on himself.
Right.
And I know it's early, but he's had one hell of an April.
Yeah. No, he's a big part of what they're doing right now.
Yeah, big part. But hitting behind Soto has to help.
No, for sure. It's like it brings a big relax. You know what I mean? Like it's not as much pressure. He gets on, and then after that you do your job. And as long as everybody down the line does their job, everything works out. And it seems like it's working good for you guys, honestly. But I don't see this as a two-horse race anymore. I really don't. I see you guys. I don't. I know it's early. I know it's early, but I just see this problem continuing with the Phillies. And right now, we're really going to face some hard teams right now. And then I think the Phillies got to do some soul searching right now. They really do.
So what do you say? Mets pull away, and they.
I do. I think you guys. I think right now you guys really are going to just pull away with the division. I think you guys are going to start pushing, and then we're going to kind of soul search, man. We're going to do a lot of soul searching until they get.
That sweep definitely helped us.
No, for sure.
I think we're 5 up now on you guys.
Yep, that's what it is.
So we got a little cushion right now, but
any cushion helps in this game.
Yeah, you're right.
But Keith, it is what it is. The Mets,
is.
The Mets right now are the better team are the best team in the National League East, and I will concede that. And there's your victory lap, Keith.
I'll take it.
But I appreciate you coming on, Keith, and repping your Mets to the fullest and everything.
That's it.
All right, but
hopefully we'll get to a game one day this year, and we'll rock out there.
All right, Ben. I'm all for that too.
All right.
All right, Keith. Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on.
All right, Joe. Anytime.